Have you ever listened to someone talk and ask yourself, do they even believe what they're saying? I mean, I listened to Karine Jean-pierre speak, and there's a part of me that feels sorry for her. And there's another part of me that says there's no way she believes this. Hey, what's going on? Thanks for coming back by the channel. Today we're going to look at Peter Doocy as he starts to question Karine Jean-pierre about the state of inflation in this country. And let's see where this goes.
Okay, Peter.
Thanks, Karine. Why is the president saying that pardon? Why is the president saying that inflation is worse everywhere but here?
Because what we have seen across the globe, first of all, inflation is a global challenge, as we have said. It is caused by clearly the pandemic, this once-in-a-generation pandemic that we are coming out of, and also, most recently, the war that Putin started in Ukraine that has caused inflation as we look at food and as we look at gas prices. So if you look at globally other countries, and if you look at where we are economically, when you think about the Group 7, the G7, we are in a much stronger place than we are economically than the rest.
No.
And also,
Do you believe that? I don't. Difficult for me because I understand we are all part of the globe, right? We're part of global economy. I get that. But at the end of the day, we're talking about the president of the United States worrying about the inflation rate in the United States. It's amazing to me how everything gets blamed on Putin and the war. Yeah, it's terrible. I get that. But there are certain things that are going on here in this country that have absolutely nothing to do with that. But that's the scapegoat, right? It just, I don't agree with this. Worry about this country. That's your job as the president. And her job, I don't want her job. There's no way I would want to deal with what she deals with. Having to spin these crazy stories in order to try to make things look like they're not horrible. I don't know.
Globally, though, he says that inflation is worse everywhere but here. That's not true. U.S. has worse inflation than Germany, France, Japan, Canada, India, Italy, Saudi Arabia.
well,
So why is he saying that?
I think what we are saying is that when you talk about inflation, it is a global thing. And it is not just about the United States. This is something that everyone is feeling because of coming out of once in a lifetime pandemic, because of the war that Russia has started in Ukraine.
Ooh, the political two-step. List off a bunch of places that we're actually worse than after she just said we were better than. And now I'm going to tiptoe around and, oh, this is Ukraine. It's Ukraine. No, call it what it is. Bad policies in this country creating horrible inflation. That's it. Be honest.
Okay, why isn't the president asking oil companies to drill more here in the U.S.?
Let me just give you a little bit of a rundown of why we are here.
And just because I know his letter was a lot about refining and increasing refining, but that's a lot of oil that comes in from overseas. So why isn't he asking companies to drill more here in the U.S.?
Well, hold on. So here we go. So this is where we are. I'm going to give you a little bit of a rundown of why we are here and what's going on and why we wrote the letter.
Okay, I'm going to give you a little bit of a rundown. That is political speech for I'm about to spin you. I'm about to try to muddy the waters so much that you don't understand what I'm even trying to say. That way, I can give you an answer and you can walk away feeling dumbfounded and perplexed. Because that's what's always seems to happen when it's, let me give you a rundown. You agree? Let me know in the comments.
Letter. So due to decreased demand at the start of the pandemic, U.S. oil refineries reduced their capacity by more than 800,000 barrels per day. Now that consumers' demand has returned thanks to the president's recovery plan, oil refineries have still not brought refinery capacity back to the pre-pandemic level. So that is the problem, and that is what we're trying to address. At the same time, Putin's invasion of Ukraine put pressure on global supply and gas prices have gone up by nearly $2 since before the invasion. So President Biden has taken historic actions to elevate this pressure, releasing record amounts of oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve and relaying the world to release oil too. That's at 240 million barrels of oil that he was able to do with his partnership.
Do you buy any of that? Yes, the pandemic, everything was shut down, everyone was locked down. So obviously, the need for more oil kind of dwindled, right? Then what happened? Biden takes over and immediately closes down the Keystone Pipeline. What's that about? Now you've cut our opportunities to create our own oil. The question was, why doesn't he let people drill here in this country? There was no response to that. None. He's not going to let anybody drill here. Let's be honest. He wants to get rid of fossil fuels, right? Isn't that what he keeps saying? Well, you're not going to allow for more fossil fuels to be collected, harvested, if your entire mission is to shut it down. She's struggling. She's grasping, and I feel sorry for her. She has to sit here and lie to the American people to try to smooth over this ridiculous policy.
What the hell is that?
And so we are now at the highest levels of domestic production. So we actually have of crude oil since April of 2020 with an additional 9,000 approved drilling permits that remain unused, but refinery capacity needs to come back too. So that is what the problem is. We need them to actually refine the crude oil, which is not happening. And that's what we're calling on oil companies to do.
Why not just drill more here in the U.S. though?
Because we don't need to do that. What we need them to do is, with the oil that's out there, we need them to refine that oil so that the capacity could go up and then prices would go down.
So we don't need to drill oil here in this country, thus saving us millions of dollars, bringing the gas prices down, bringing the food costs down because we're self-sufficient. No, we need them to keep buying crude from Venezuela and Saudi Arabia and these places where the oil comes in, and it is disgusting. And it takes us twice as long to refine it and get it prepared to be used or to turn into gasoline. Is that what you're saying? That you would rather us spend millions of dollars to keep paying other countries than to take care of it here, get more jobs for people here, bring down the cost of everything much faster? That's really what you're trying to say?
Inherently go down.
And so I know the president once said that he was going to end fossil fuel. Is that now off the table?
No, we are going to continue to move forward with our clean energy proposal, our climate change proposal.
Is that the priority? Climate change over gas prices?
No, that's not what
Got him! Got him!
we're saying. We're saying that. We're saying, I'm answering the question.
Is his
I'm
priority
answering the
lowering
question.
gas prices, or is it addressing climate change?
First of all, you can do both at the same time. What we're trying to deal with right now is how do we lower cost for American families. And one of the things that we are seeing currently right now with oil refineries is they are using this moment that there is a war in Ukraine to actually make a profit.
There it is again. Oil companies are using the war in Ukraine. Here we go. There's that scapegoat again. Peter was right. The government, the president especially, I'm getting rid of fossil fuels. Well, if you're going to get rid of fossil fuels, you can't allow for more fossil fuels to be harvested, right? And he called her out on it. And what happened? Immediately, you can tell she was stumbling, just trying to find the words, right? She didn't know what to say, stutter, stammering. I'm trying to tell you, you're trying to tell us something that doesn't make sense. See, these policies are made to keep us in a state of flux, in a state of constant upheaval and uprise. Why? Because if you keep people off balance, then you can do whatever you want. And we're seeing that over and over and over again. It's time to start worrying about the United States. And if you're the president, that's your job. If you can save money by collecting oil here, drilling here, and you don't, then you're just neglecting your job. But these are just my opinions. So if you made it this far in the video, thank you. If you're not subscribed to my channel, which according to my analytics, about 70% of the people who watch my videos are not subscribed, and you like this kind of content, help me out. Hit that subscribe button. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. But I need the help with that to hit that 1,000 mark. I'm getting close. Maybe you could be the one to push me over the edge. Give this video a like. Comment. Those will help me out in the algorithm as well. But until next time, I'm Kix. Thanks for watching.